Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the evolution of the New York Herald. The New York Herald was first published on May 6, 1835. So the first issue we're going to look at is from January 10th, 1842. The headline is printed in large bold letters and goes across the top of the page. As you can see, the page is very text heavy and the font is extremely small in order to fit a lot of information on one page. The two left columns are devoted to advertisement and the four right columns are devoted to editorials. Advertising takes about 1/3 of the page. So this is just an example. This is just an example of a few of the advertisements that are contained on this front page. The kinds of products that are being advertised on the front page are train companies, medicines, and dentists, and paper. Also note that the only graphics on the page are in the ads. They include small graphics of trains, as you can see here. The next issue that we're going to be looking at is from April 19th, 1865. The headline looks the same as before with the large bold text, but in this issue, all of the columns are separated by thick bold lines, as you can see here. This particular issue is very different from the formatting of the issue that we just looked at because it contains no ads. The entire page is dedicated to the death of the president, Abraham Lincoln, who died just 4 days before this issue was published. So if we look at the very left column here, it has larger and bolder text than the rest of the columns. So this column has much different text than the rest of these. It says sadness at the top in large bold letters, and the rest of the column lists topics of stories that will be covered in the issue, as you can see right here, having to do with the president's death and memorial services. This issue is from January 10th, 1878. Again, the headline is the same. What's interesting about this issue is that the entire page is all advertisements. There are no editorials on this front page. So this is just a zoom in on a few of the advertisements. So in this particular issue, the advertisements are categorized by what kind of products or service they're advertising. The ads are listed under category, which is in bold, all caps, as right here. Some examples of the products and services that are being advertised are dogs, horses, businesses for sale, and amusements like theater shows and operas. So here's sporting, dogs, birds, horses, carriages, and then all the for sale stuff right here. The last issue we're going to look at is from January 10th, 1920. The headline stays the same, but on this time on its flanks, you have the weather right here. And what here is an ad for the Herald cables, which I'm assuming is the television news version of the paper. Half of the page is covered by advertisements, as you can see right here. The far left column is introductions of stories and with page numbers on which the rest of the story continues. The other two left columns are covered by losts and founds and deaths and marriages. The products that are being advertised on this page are a funeral church, which is right here, a piano company, and a clothing company. These ads are also where the graphics and images are on the page. The graphics show small pillars on the advertisement for the funeral church. On the advertisement for the piano, there's a whole image of a man playing a piano surrounded by stars and what looks like the sun right here. And this is actually the first issue that we looked at where there's an actual graphic. And that's the evolution of the New York Herald. Thank you for watching.